Alright, so we have here one of the 2000s Hoover Constellation remakes. I thought it would be a good idea to measure the performance on this. It's a little bit different from the old Constellations I've had. I could have sworn those opened up from the front, but I might be mistaken. And then, unlike the old Constellations, which use the J bag, these use the S bag. I chose to use a HEPA bag in here because why wouldn't I? And then we have a pre-motor filter below here, and then the motor had a 1500 watt rating on the side of it. The machine itself is rated for 12 amps, so I'm assuming the restriction must bring the wattage down a little bit, but we'll see how that is. And before I forget to mention it, there's an open hole on the interior of the dome, and it's been speculated by someone that that's there to act as a suction relief so it doesn't seal down to rugs, but I believe its function is that if the airflow is blocked off, this machine floats on its own exhaust. As we can see, there are no wheels on the underside of here, so in the event the airflow is completely blocked off, it won't have anything to kind of push it off the floor. So I believe that's what that hole is there for. In the event the hose is blocked, clogged up, or whatever, there's still going to be an incoming source of air to allow it to float. So we'll start it up and see how it does in terms of wattage. I would expect it to be pretty high, but we'll see. And away it goes. So we're at 119.2 loaded. Let's switch to wattage. Really is close to that 12 amp mark. I did once measure the hose airflow with that little relief hole blocked off, but I've decided that since it's not meant to be used like that, I'm just going to do everything with the hole open as it's meant to be. So we're just going to get the numbers as it's supposed to be. Although I will say I remember measuring the hose flow with the hole blocked around 122 CFM, which is very, very powerful. It had about 106, I think, with it unblocked. But anyways, let's get this on the road. I don't know if it caught that, so just in case it didn't, that was the highest number we got. The inlet's a little bit uneven, so I don't know that we'll be able to get a full seal on it, but we'll give it a shot. We seem to have a seal. And of course we can hear the air leaking around this hole. So, despite the hole being blocked completely, we're still able to move a little bit. Alright, we got the hose laid out, so let's test the hose flow. I have a feeling that the hose not being completely straight is probably going to affect it a little bit, but that's okay. Make sure the suction relief is completely closed. Because because the end of the hose isn't exactly straight, I've decided to employ this 35 or 32 to 35 millimeter adapter in order to get a suction reading. It might affect it a little bit, but I can't imagine it would be much. Come on. So we've dropped down, but just as before, it still moves thanks to that pole. Alright, so we got the telescopic wand in place here, fully extended. We gotta re-straighten that hose a little bit. Alright. Now let's test its flow at the end of the wand. And now we'll test the suction at the end of the wand. Down about a 4 in water lift. And then these used a turbine nozzle, which I haven't always had the best luck attempting to measure, but, well, at least give it a try anyways. And this turbine is an open structured one, similar to what you might see on like a pneumatic or even some of the WessoWorks ones. It's a little bit different because it doesn't have any outer support, from what I recall. It just has the central core of it, kind of. But we'll see how it does. That is a noisy thing. Almost there. And I know it's possible to get a little bit more out of it. Definitely got some leakage. And then, as per usual, we'll throw down a little bit of rolled oats. Excuse the mess, I'm working on a Silver King motor currently, so my living room's a little bit of a mess. But let's start it up. It does like to drift. It is a fun little unit, the way it kind of glides after you. And it doesn't take a whole lot to move it either. But it does float better when it's used with a tool that's not as restrictive. as this turbine head. So actually, why don't I switch tools? Alright, it'll float a little bit better with this on it, so... And then I almost find this thing a little bit annoying on bare floors. Because with the stretch hose, it really likes to kind of bite at your ankles. You see the kind of weightlessness it has. You move it a little bit, swings, follows you quite easily. I'm not even pulling on the hose, and it's enough to get it to move. And I see the cord's caught on something. And there we can see that Silver King that I'm working on. So, there we have our test of this kind of throwback to the past Hoover Constellation reproduction.